At a busy airport terminal, where the hum of routine travel should have signified safety, a single moment shattered the calm. 11-year-old Mia Robinson, glowing with optimism in her bright pink dress, found herself standing before an officer whose actions defied all expectations. Instead of retreating in fear, Mia boldly dialed her father's number, a decision that would soon set off a chain of events that would shake the very foundation of the system. In that charged instant, the air grew thick with disbelief and rising whispers. Mia's calm determination transformed her from just another traveler into a beacon of resistance against an institution tainted by bias. Her heart raced as she faced not only an unyielding authority figure, but also the weight of deeply ingrained prejudice threatening to define her journey. Every second felt like a delicate balance between despair and defiance, drawing a clear line between vulnerability and resolute courage. This is the extraordinary account of Mia Robinson, a young girl whose brave call to action sparked a nationwide conversation about justice, rights, and reform. A raw glimpse into her courage shows the power of standing up against systemic inequality and ignites hope for a future where fairness prevails. Mia's world shifted in an instant at the airport, where expectations of safety and efficiency usually reigned. In this otherwise ordinary moment, an encounter occurred that would forever alter her life. Dressed in a dazzling pink outfit that stood out amid the dull monotony of the crowd, the precocious 11-year-old was confronted by a security officer whose demeanor exuded harsh skepticism. When he questioned her and examined her documents with unsettling suspicion, Mia's confusion, indignation, and quiet determination ignited a spark of resistance. For a moment, every fiber of her being urged her to retreat into silence. But in the midst of the chaos, her mind raced with clarity. She could feel the weight of the injustice pressing down on her, a feeling that clashed with the values her parents had instilled in her. Why was this happening to her? She wondered. Why was she being scrutinized without cause? Instead of succumbing to fear, Mia reached deep within herself, pressing the call button on her phone. Her trembling fingers and unwavering gaze betrayed the determination that guided her every move, a decision to summon the one person she knew could help, her father. In a high-rise office, miles away, Elijah Robinson, a seasoned Homeland Security officer, felt the familiar jolt of concern. Amid a flurry of urgent communications and critical briefings, an unexpected call disrupted his focus. When he heard his daughter's voice on the other end, the words, "I need you now," instantly cut through his professional responsibilities. His thoughts narrowed in on one singular focus, ensuring that Mia, full of promise yet now caught in an unwarranted encounter, would not be a victim but a symbol of resilience. Back at the terminal, the security officer later identified as Raymond found himself struggling with a deep internal conflict. His career had been shaped by strict protocols and unspoken biases, conditioning him to view the world through rigid, simplistic lenses. But standing in front of Mia, vulnerable yet unyielding, everything he thought he knew was challenged. As Mia calmly explained her situation again, the officer's hard exterior began to crack. Her measured responses, delivered with the wisdom of someone far beyond her years, showcased not only an acute awareness of the situation, but also a quiet sense of justice that belied her youth. "My dad works in Homeland Security," Mia said softly, each word heavy with both pride and sadness. The officer's rigid demeanor began to shift as the gravity of his mistake set in. Within minutes, the echoes of that fateful moment sent a ripple through the airport. Elijah, arriving on the scene with a mixture of authority and compassion, quickly intervened. His calm yet forceful inquiry sliced through the growing tension. "Explain this breach of respect and procedure," he demanded, his voice both firm and empathetic. The confrontation was about more than just rectifying a single error. It was a stand against a system that had allowed bias to seep into daily operations. Elijah's words were deliberate, serving as both a reprimand and a call to action for reform. In the days that followed, an investigation uncovered a long-ignored culture within the institution. Internal memos revealed that practices encouraging suspicion, especially toward those who deviated from an unspoken norm, had been passed down from mentor to mentee. As testimonies emerged, it became clear that the encounter was symptomatic of a much larger, systemic issue within the corridors of power. Heated debates among officials centered on whether the incident was a tragic anomaly or proof of deep-seated prejudices embedded in security protocols. Meanwhile, Mia grappled with the duality of her life. At school, some classmates whispered about her newfound notoriety, while others admired her courage. In a quiet conversation with her closest friends, she revealed the inner conflict she had faced. "I felt small and misunderstood at first," she confided, her voice barely above a whisper. "But now I know that every challenge can reveal a strength I never knew I had." Her honest reflections resonated deeply with her classmates, turning rumors into respectful dialogue and fostering an environment of understanding. The investigation into the federal agency continued, with high-stakes meetings revealing the complex relationship between security measures and civil rights. Legal experts, reform-minded officials, and advisors worked tirelessly to eliminate bias from the system, recognizing that true safety depended not just on security, but on fair treatment for all. Raymond, in the privacy of his modest apartment, found himself reflecting on the encounter. Each replay of the event filled him with regret, and in quiet confessional tones, he admitted to a colleague, "I followed a system that taught me to see differences as threats. Yet today, I saw a child who deserved nothing but kindness." This private revelation sparked a profound transformation within him. Raymond began to dismantle the biases that had guided his actions, ultimately becoming an advocate for reform. His journey from conflicted enforcer to proponent of change would be a catalyst for sweeping reforms within the agency. As the story of Mia's encounter spread through social media and news outlets, it sparked a national conversation. Civil rights organizations rallied behind Mia, demanding systemic change. Elijah, too, became a voice for accountability, navigating public scrutiny with dignity and resolve. In candid interviews and private meetings, he spoke passionately about the need for reform, emphasizing that true security couldn't exist without respect for civil rights. Mia, meanwhile, began to channel her experience into positive action. At a school assembly, she spoke with a maturity beyond her years. "Every day, I face challenges that remind me how important it is to stand up for what's right." Her words ignited a spark in her peers, creating a collective realization that their voices, no matter how small, could shape the future. As reforms slowly began to take shape, a new training program and updated oversight protocols emerged. The legacy of that day continued to shape lives, fostering accountability within the security agency and transforming individuals who had once clung to outdated practices. Security officers began to see beyond superficial differences, embracing a more compassionate approach to their work. The transformation was slow, filled with setbacks, but every step forward marked progress. A security officer openly acknowledged his past mistakes. A family found solace in the support of a community committed to fighting injustice. And a young girl, who had dared to speak out, became a symbol of courage that sparked lasting change. Through whispered conversations and impassioned debates, the spirit of that day endured. It served as a constant reminder that even the smallest act of bravery can bring monumental shifts. Mia's story, like the lessons learned along the way, is a testament to the power of confronting injustice with compassion and resolve. At the end of it all, Mia was still radiant in her cherished pink dress, symbolizing both her vulnerability as a young girl and the transformative power of standing up for what's right. Her journey showed that every bold step forward builds a path toward lasting change, one where respect and equity guide every action. If this journey inspired you, please like and share to continue the conversation about creating a more just society.